So I had the tank off this bike, jetting the carburetor. Tank hasn't been off the bike maybe 4 times, maybe once when I first got it to put the hour meter on there, and then another time I couldn't get the coil wire off, so I pulled the tank. That was when I first got it to change the plug. And then I've had it off jetting the carburetor. Probably didn't need to do that because, you know, you can, once you loosen up the carb from the boot here, you can just loosen the throttle cable and turn the carburetor enough to jet it. But anyway, when I was putting it back on, I couldn't get the bolts to start. And I started thinking, well, you know, it was weird. It's something that was easy. It should go on, but should go on easy. But so, you know, I decided to buy some thread chasers. And so this side, you can see, I mean, you know, it just goes in really easy. Finger tight, and you can just tighten it up and chase the threads, which is how a thread chaser should work. And obviously I'm gonna hit it with some contact cleaner. I did buy new bolts. The old bolts, they seem to be boogered. And the other side on this tank, I'm getting ready to walk around, but the other side was kind of the same way. Actually, this one was worse. It wouldn't start right away, and I had to like start it and back it out a couple of times, all by hand too. But now you can see, well, if I can hold my hand steady enough to get it in there, I can just do it by hand, you know. And I believe what the deal is, see, it chases all the way. And I believe what the deal is, you know, like a lot of things, when I was wrenching 30 years ago, the quality of metal is just not like it used to be. And so nuts are made out of cheaper metal. As if any of the hardware on these bikes or cars probably is like the cheap Chinesium metal. So, you know, you're going to get them to deform a certain amount. You know, there's a finite amount of times you can, you know, like for instance, take these tank bolts on and off. I've noticed that on the Kawasaki over there. Anyway, so I got new tank bolts, and I'm going to put this tank on off camera and come back. Okay, so the tank's back on here, and you know, those are the new bolts that are in there. I will say, man, that, you know, if you're doing this, like take your time, because it is easy to cross thread or you know, you could booger those nuts for sure, or the bolts, or both. But yeah, if you're taking your tank on and off, I probably would do it as least amount of times as I could, because like I said, you know, there's a finite amount of times you can take stuff off like that before you start having issues. But anyway, I'm just going to put the plastics and the seat back on and button it up.